When you are one of the most iconic superheroes of all time and have been around for 75 odd years like Batman has, there are bound to be various versions of you popping up in all forms of media, and a few taking up the mantle when you have a sick day. Batman has appeared in comics, movies, crossovers, animated shows, video games, cereal boxes. Today we will talk about the 10 best alternate versions of the Cape Crusader. This list, as compiled by Thwip, is no means a definitive list, but is just our opinion. Please feel free to disagree with us in the comment section. Here we go. Number 10. Frank Miller's Batman. Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns was born of a quest for a return to form for Batman and his stories. Seeking to tell a grittier, darker Batman tale, Miller's DKR focuses on an older Bruce Wayne, forced out of retirement by a Gotham City that just keeps on getting worse and worse, and the return of Two-Face, a villain thought to be cured of his criminal insanity. The reason we have Frank Miller's Batman at number 10 and not higher is because of what Miller did consequently with the character in Dark Knight Strikes Against an all-star Batman and Robin, of which the less that is talked about, the better. Number 9. Azrael. This version of Batman sees Jane Paul Valley take up the cape after Bane breaks Batman's back in 1993's Nightfall storyline. In a costume that screams extreme so hard, Rob Liefeld gets a hard-on. Azrael was a complex character in that he had his own conditioning as an assassin from the Sacred Order of Saint Dumas, but he wanted Batman's help in breaking his conditioning to forge his own destiny. Number 8. Kingdom Come Batman. Mark Waid and Alex Ross's epic miniseries Kingdom Come established an aging Batman who gave up all pretense of a secret identity years ago. His body racked by time and injury, Bruce Wayne now uses a veritable army of Batman robots to patrol Gotham City. When Superman comes out of retirement to stop the reign of terror of a younger generation of out-of-control heroes, Batman dons an exoskeleton suit and rejoins the fight in person. Number 7. Red Rain Batman. In Doug Moench and Kelly Jones' classic Elseworld tale, Batman joins forces with a young vampire named Tanya to defeat the legendary vampire Dracula himself. Quickly realizing that the only way to defeat Dracula is to become a vampire himself, Batman convinces Tanya to bite him, giving him all the powers of a vampire along with all of his inherent skills. Batman eventually defeats Dracula, sacrificing his own humanity to do so. But the story doesn't end there. Red Rain became a fan-favorite story, spawning sequels, spin-offs, and even seeing itself incorporated into the new multiverse in the wake of DC's 52, as one of 52 alternate Earths, Earth 43. The sequels Bloodstorm and Crimson Mist were just as well received, so if you ever want to read a story about where Batman is a vampire, this is the story you go to. Number 6. Gotham by Gaslight. Considered by many to be the very first Elseworld story, Brian Augustine and Mike Mignola's Gotham by Gaslight tells the story of a turn-of-the-century Bruce Wayne, who dons the mantle of the begoggled Batman when his friend Inspector Gordon shows him a series of strange murder cases. When it is discovered that the Jack the Ripper has come to Gotham City, Bruce Wayne is framed for the murders, driving Batman to clear his own name and solve the grisly killings. Gotham by Gaslight was widely acclaimed, inspiring the Elseworlds imprint that spawned numerous alternate stories of Batman, Superman, and various other characters. Gotham by Gaslight spawned a sequel entitled Batman Master of the Future. In a bizarre case of not knowing we needed it before we heard it existed, there exist concept videos of a video game based on Gotham by Gaslight that never made it past the concept pitch, leaving us to shake our heads in dismay. 5. Dawn of Justice Batman. Since we decided we would include only one movie Batman, we had long discussions, and not strangely it came down to Keaton and Affleck. Sorry Christian. Affleck and Keaton both faced immense backlash when they were cast, and both of them made their critics eat their words. But the reason Affleck edges out Keaton in our minds is because of 3 things. He can move his neck, he fights like Batman is meant to, and Affleck brings a quiet intensity to the role as Bruce Wayne and a scary intimidation as Batman. As Ben Affleck himself has said about his Batman, he's on the verge of being swallowed up by the anger and the rage that we see haunt this character in the other manifestations of it. But this guy is further down the line and has become more embittered and cynical. We can't wait for his solo movie. Number 4. Damian Wayne. Created by the maestro Grant Morrison, Damian Wayne, the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, this version of Damian Wayne is in a future where Damian becomes the Batman after he's unable to save the second Batman, Dick Grayson, from being killed by an unknown killer. Damian has some supernatural power, is willing to kill, as well as having a cat he has named Alfred. With his first appearance in Batman issue 666, Damian believed that he had to kill in order to take a more definitive stance on crime. In a very cool twist in the story, Damian saves baby Terry McGinnis, who would go on to become Batman himself in 25 years, mentored by none other than Damian himself. Number 3. Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is the very definition of legacy. He is trying to be Batman while taking care of Damian, protecting the city from James Gordon Jr., and defending the memory of Jason Todd's murder. For those of us growing up in the 90s, we always wanted to see Grayson take up the mantle, which he has done twice. The first time he was Batman was in Batman Prodigal, Bruce's second replacement after Bane broke his back. The second time after Batman R.I.P. Dick brought compassion to the cowl and a pathos that wasn't there previously, and in one of my most favorite stories in Superman Batman 76, A Time Before Time, we see how he interacts with Superman as Batman. To see Superman angry at Dick for becoming the next Batman, it really adds a twist to the series and also a whole new perspective on Dick Grayson as Batman. Number 2. Terry McGinnis. Batman Beyond was considerably darker than most of the children's programming at the time, although producer Bruce Timm recalls it was conceived as a kid-friendly Batman cartoon. Terry McGinnis was the young hero to have donned the cowl this time as mentored by an old Bruce Wayne. Almost reminiscent of Spider-Man in the early 60s in many ways, we see Terry learn how to become the Batman. Batman Beyond is a story about what would happen when Robin takes over for Batman. In essence, it's a series that has been very popular with the young generation. The series itself spawned one of the greatest Batman movies of all time, Return of the Joker. Terry shows that being young and impulsive is not a bad thing and is essentially who we all want to be if we ever became Batman. Number 1. Batman, the Animated Series. Considered to be the best representation of Batman on any medium, the animated series Batman is a glorious celebration of what Batman truly is. This moody, dark, beautifully crafted series is the highlight of Batman's creative ventures outside the comics medium. It was the perfect distillation of Batman, combined with excellent voice acting, especially by Kevin Conroy, who established the idea that Bruce and Bats had two different voices. We get Batman being everything we want him to be, the Dark Knight, the detective, the badass. Batman, the animated series, essentially was so good that after it was over, it influenced who Batman would be in the mainline continuity in the comics. So there you have it, the top 10 alternate Batmans of all time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we at Thwip would like to say we are very excited about the upcoming Killing Joke animated movie starring Batman and Joker with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill reprising their original roles. We can't wait for this to come out and give you guys a review. Turn in for that.